Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, unraveling the complexities of human civilization. Today, we set our sights on one of the most pivotal and fascinating chapters in human history: the Crusades. This epic tale of faith, conquest, and cultural clash will transport us to the sun-scorched landscapes of the Middle East, the majestic cities of Europe, and the revered holy sites of Christianity. As we delve into the origins of the Crusades, let us first grasp the historical context that gave rise to this seismic event. It is the year 1071, and the Byzantine Empire, once the bastion of Christian power, lies weakened by internal strife and external pressures. The Normans have been making incursions into southern Italy, while the Seljuk Turks have been expanding their dominions in Anatolia, threatening the very borders of the empire. The Battle of Manzikert, fought on August 26, 1071, marks a turning point in this struggle, as the Byzantine army is defeated by the Seljuks, led by Alp Arslan. In the aftermath of this defeat, the Byzantine Emperor, Michael VII Ducas, appeals to the Pope for assistance, marking the beginning of a complex web of alliances and rivalries between the Christian states of Europe. The Pope, Gregory VII, sees an opportunity to assert his authority and promote the interests of the Church, while the Emperor seeks to bolster his position against the rising threat of the Seljuks. As we explore the early stirrings of the Crusades, we find ourselves in the midst of a complex landscape of alliances and rivalries between the Christian states of Europe. The Council of Piacenza, held in 1095, is a pivotal moment in the development of the Crusades, as it brings together many of the key players who will shape the course of the conflict. The council is attended by representatives from the Holy Roman Empire, the Kingdom of France, and the Papal States, among others. In the picturesque town of Clermont, nestled in the rolling hills of central France, the seeds of the Crusades are formally sown. The air is electric with anticipation as Pope Urban II delivers a rousing sermon on November 27, 1095, urging the faithful to take up arms and embark on a sacred quest to reclaim the Holy Land. The crowd is filled with enthusiasm and fervor, and the cry of Deus Vult, God wills it, echoes through the streets. The call to crusade is not merely a response to the Byzantine Emperor's appeal for assistance, but also a reflection of the deeper spiritual and ideological currents that are shaping European society. The idea of a holy war, fought to reclaim the sacred sites of Christianity, resonates deeply with the faithful, and the Crusades will become a defining feature of medieval Europe. As we pause to reflect on these early stirrings of the Crusades, we find ourselves at the threshold of a new era, one that will be marked by bloodshed, discovery, and transformation. The stage is set for a grand drama, one that will unfold across centuries and continents. And so, dear listeners, let us proceed to the next chapter in our journey, as we enter the tumultuous world of the Crusades in full bloom, where heroes and villains, saints and sinners, will clash in a struggle that will shape the very course of human history. The journey ahead promises to be filled with excitement, drama, and insight into one of the most pivotal moments in human history. Welcome back, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, as we continue our journey through the epic tale of the Crusades. We left off at the threshold of a new era, with the call to crusade echoing through the streets of Clermont, and the faithful preparing to embark on a sacred quest to reclaim the Holy Land. As we delve into this pivotal period, we find ourselves in the midst of a grand drama, where heroes and villains, saints and sinners, will clash in a struggle that will shape the very course of human history. The First Crusade, which began in 1096, was a complex and multifaceted movement, driven by a mix of motivations, including piety, adventure, and economic gain. One of the most significant events of this period was the Siege of Jerusalem, which took place in July 1, 1999. The city, considered the holiest site in Christianity, had been under Muslim control for centuries, and its capture was a key objective of the crusade. The siege was a brutal and bloody affair, with both sides suffering heavy losses. In the end, the Crusaders emerged victorious, and on July 15, 1099, they breached the city walls and claimed Jerusalem as their own. The establishment of the Christian kingdoms in the Holy Land was another major consequence of the First Crusade. The Kingdom of Jerusalem, founded by Godfrey of Bouillon, became a beacon of Christianity in the region, attracting pilgrims and settlers from across Europe. Other kingdoms, such as the County of Tripoli and the Principality of Antioch, were also established, creating a network of Christian states that would play a significant role in the politics of the Middle East for centuries to come. The Crusades also had a profound impact on the cultural and intellectual landscape of Europe. The exchange of ideas and technologies between East and West, facilitated by the Crusades, helped to spur innovation and progress in fields such as architecture, art, and medicine. The legendary Knights Templar, founded during this period, became a powerful and influential organization, playing a key role in the development of banking, finance, and trade. As we explore this fascinating period, we find ourselves in awe of the achievements and exploits of the Crusaders. From the bravery of Bohemond I, who led the siege of Antioch, to the piety of Peter the Hermit, who inspired thousands to take up the cross. The stories of these individuals are a testament to the power of faith and conviction. However, we must also acknowledge the darker aspects of the Crusades, including the violence, intolerance, and bloodshed that characterized much of this period. The massacres of Jews and Muslims, the destruction of cities and towns, and the exploitation of local populations are all tragic reminders of the devastating consequences of religious conflict. As we reach the pinnacle of the Crusades' influence and power, we find ourselves at a turning point in history. The grand drama of the Crusades is about to give way to a new era of decline and transformation. The Muslim counterattack, led by leaders such as Saladin, will soon challenge Christian dominance in the Holy Land, and the Crusader kingdoms will begin to crumble. And so, dear listeners, let us proceed to the final chapter in our journey, as we explore the decline and aftermath of the Crusades. The journey ahead promises to be filled with insight, reflection, and a deeper understanding of one of the most pivotal moments in human history. Welcome back, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, as we conclude our journey through the epic tale of the Crusades. The decline of the Crusader kingdoms began in the late 12th century, with the Muslim counterattack led by Saladin, who united the fragmented Muslim states and launched a series of successful campaigns against the Christian strongholds. In 1187, Saladin recaptured Jerusalem, marking a significant turning point in the history of the Crusades. The city would remain under Muslim control for centuries to come. The loss of Jerusalem was a devastating blow to the Crusader movement, and it marked the beginning of a long and gradual decline. The Christian kingdoms in the Holy Land continued to struggle, but they were ultimately unable to withstand the pressure from their Muslim neighbors. By the mid-13th century, the Kingdom of Jerusalem had been reduced to a small coastal strip, and the other Crusader states had been largely eradicated. The decline of the Crusades also marked a significant shift in the balance of power between Europe and the Middle East. The Muslim world, which had been fragmented and disunited for centuries, began to coalesce into powerful empires, such as the Mamluk Sultanate in Egypt and the Ottoman Empire in Turkey. These empires would go on to play a dominant role in the region for centuries to come. Despite their decline, the Crusades left a lasting legacy in Europe. The movement had helped to spur innovation and progress in fields such as architecture, art, and medicine, and it had facilitated the exchange of ideas and technologies between East and West. The legendary Knights Templar, founded during this period, continued to play a significant role in European society, and their influence can still be seen in modern-day banking and finance. The Crusades also had a profound impact on modern society, politics, and culture. The idea of holy war, which was central to the Crusader movement, continues to shape our understanding of conflict and violence today. The legacy of the Crusades can be seen in the ongoing tensions between Christians and Muslims, as well as in the complex web of alliances and rivalries that continue to shape international relations. In conclusion, dear listeners, the decline and aftermath of the Crusades mark a significant turning point in human history. The epic tale of the Crusades, which began with such promise and idealism, ultimately ended in failure and disappointment. However, the legacy of this movement continues to shape our world today, and it remains an important reminder of the power of faith, conviction, and human ingenuity. As we reflect on the Crusades, we are reminded that history is complex and multifaceted, full of contradictions and paradoxes. The Crusades were both a product of their time and a harbinger of things to come. They represent a moment of great upheaval and transformation, one that continues to resonate with us today. And so, dear listeners, our journey through the epic tale of the Crusades comes to an end. We hope that you have enjoyed this series, and that it has provided you with a deeper understanding of one of the most pivotal moments in human history. Join us next time on History with Herodotus, as we explore another fascinating chapter in the story of our world. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.